Hello, everyone. This is Lisa Kincaid at the Veterans Transition Center of California. And this podcast is Veterans Voices with VTC. And our tagline is very real and very important. It's real stories of strength, survival, and hope. That's what we provide here is hope for a better future for any veteran that is facing crisis or finds themselves in a situation where they need help. So that's what we're here to do. My name's Lisa Kincaid. I'm your host. And then we've got Madison McNamara. She also is my co-host and producer of the show. She runs all the technical aspects of everything. Hi, Madison.
Hi, Lisa.
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm excited to hear about our art classes today.
Yes, we have a special guest here today, Regina, who will be talking about art therapy that she brings into the Veterans Transition Center. And she has quite a few veterans that join her class every week. And it's really art for healing because it provides so many benefits to our veterans. So I would like to give a shout out before we start to Santa Cruz Voice. We're so happy to be a part of Santa Cruz Voice, the family in Santa Cruz that airs our podcast for free every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on their podcast list. And so they showed us what to purchase. They gave us training on how to run a podcast. So we're really grateful for them. So every Wednesday at 4 p.m. they stream our podcast. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we have a very own website for this podcast, which is vtcvoices.org. Our mission is to empower veterans to move from crisis to self-sufficiency. We take veterans as they are. However, the situation you find yourself in, we take you as you are. I'd also like to give a shout out to another organization that shares our mission, and that's the Marina Grocery Outlet. Martha and Walter, we are so grateful to them for all the food that they donate to the Veterans Transition Center several times a week. They load us up with lots of food, vegetables, canned goods, lots of things that support our veterans on a daily basis. We feed almost 200 people a day. We have almost doubled in size since January because of our opening of our new Light Fighter Village apartment complex. So we are grateful to the Marina Grocery Outlet. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Regina, and she teaches our art therapy and art for healing class here at the Veterans Transition Center to our veterans. Hi, Regina.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And tell us a little bit about your background, and you must be an artist.
We're all artists. I believe that we all have something to express and share. So this is all kind of new for me in retirement. It kind of fell into my lap, and it's just been so rewarding for me. I thought I was, giving something, but what it's giving back to me in return has been immense.
That's powerful. And it's so true, isn't it? It's the same for me for this podcast. Our experiences here during this podcast with these veterans is just, it's so powerful because every person has a story. And I'm sure that you are able to, really gain some insight into people's lives when they're in your classes.
Absolutely. As a teaching artist, I come up with many different mediums and projects to inspire creativity, self-reflection, and for them to be able to express feelings. Art is a catalyst that helps people define their feelings. It's a therapy that provides healing. And I see social connections, community develop where sharing is done in a safe environment, which I think is really important here. I think the vets share a lot of stuff here in our group setting that they probably wouldn't have the ability to do somewhere else. So I think they feel really safe. And I see transformation here through their creative growth in the art projects that they make that provides a sense of control and accomplishment that they're proud of. And the reward is when you meet a vet who is not sure they want to participate. And after they do, they share how much they got out of painting, that they were so inspired. They went to Michael's and bought paints and brushes to use at home.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's really amazing.
So tell us how you motivate those individuals that are maybe just entering your class for the first time and they're just sort of like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Well, this one gentleman that I'm referring to, I remember the first day he walked in the door, and he just kind of stood there with his arms folded in front of him, like, what's everybody doing here? And I said, oh, well, come join us. We're going to do some art. And he's like, well, like he wasn't too sure about that. And he has an unusual name, which I can't share here, but I asked him his name, and he wouldn't tell me. He wrote it on a piece of paper, and I looked at it, and it has kind of a French ring to it. And I said, oh, your mother gave you this wonderful French name. And we both started laughing, and that kind of broke the ice. And he's been coming every week since, and just really looks forward to the class and enjoys expressing himself with art.
Does he have a favorite medium?
We use a lot of different things.
I know.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that because, some people, like for me, I probably would prefer paint than pastels or something like that. But tell us about the different mediums and what are some of them drawn to more than others, or if there is any bias like that.
We've done stuff on wooden boxes with modeling paste. We do watercolor. We've done neurographic art with markers and pens. Neurographic art is originally, it was created by a Russian neurophysician, and it has real healing properties to it. It's something anybody can do, but it's really cool artwork, and it's actually a really fun project to do. Today, for example, we did something out of shoe inserts that just come from, you buy a pair of tennis shoes, and the little cardboard insert in there is what we used, and we came up with about 40 different quotes that have to do with walking, like walk the talk, walk for freedom, wherever you go, there you are, one baby step at a time. We came up with a lot of different quotes, and the idea was to decorate your shoe insert with a walking quote. And it was really a fun project, and I think each quote really resonated with the person. And one person came up with the best quote: walk in someone else's shoes.
Powerful.
And that was very powerful, yes.
That is super cool. Have you ever thought of having them paint tennis shoes?
Yes, I think that would be great.
I would love to tie-dye some white sneakers, from Walmart.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Well, that's amazing. Tell us a little bit about your artistry background. I want to hear more about that. And then what brought you here?
Well, I retired in 2020, and I've always wanted to do more art. I've always had like a lot of creative stuff I like to do, jewelry and painting and different things. But, with working full time, I never had a lot of opportunity to do that. So I started at a low-income senior place here in Marina that had a gal come once a week and do watercolor. And when she left, after a couple of years, she said, you ought to teach this class. And I said, but I don't have credentials. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a real artist. And she says, you don't have to be. So I applied for a position through the Monterey Arts Council, and I've been working in a few different places doing this kind of thing. And it's just very, very rewarding. I really enjoy it.
Well, we've gotten some great feedback from veterans about joining this class.
Yeah, no, I know I walk in there. Usually I try and pop in and snap some pictures every Monday, but sometimes I can't make it in. But every time I walk in, they seem to really be enjoying whatever it is that you're working on. And there's always a variety of things that you bring along too, and we love it.
And I think it would be great to have an art wall, We're going to do that with our podcast too, is we're going to we take a photo of each of our guests after the podcast recording. And so I think it would be amazing to bring some of that art in where people can see it on a daily basis. I mean, I would love to see it. That's for sure. Yeah, that's very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Regina. And if you don't mind sticking around, we have another amazing guest here who is an employee and also a veteran. Thank you so much for coming. Did you want to add something?
Just one other thing, how important the community that has developed is here, I think. With every Monday, how much they look forward to it and just the friendship and the sharing and the community that's been created is really important.
It is important, and I think it's also pretty powerful. We've talked about this on the broadcast too, is that the camaraderie here is quite fascinating, but it's also quite personal. Not only their background in the military, because there's already a kind of a family interesting background when you're in the military, but then coming into a place like this where they have shared experiences.
Absolutely.
That they know they're in a safe place, and that they all know that they're in a safe place. And then they come to you to kind of get some of that out onto paper or whatever project they're working on. So it's powerful.
Yeah. Bingo. That's exactly what I was referring to.
Well, I just love the story about the veteran who came in not knowing what to expect and then ended up staying and just comes back every single Monday. I think that's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to introduce to you Ryan, who, Ryan, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
We're so glad to have you here, not only to talk about your experience here at VTC as an employee, but your experience as a veteran. So tell us a little bit about your military background.
Well, my background isn't exciting.
It's always exciting, just like everyone's an artist.
I served 6 years in the reserves, Army Reserves.
Okay.
Yeah. I started off as a 44 Bravo, which is a welder, and I switched over to 21 Echo, heavy equipment operator.
And did you learn welding were you trained in the military for welding?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, every kind of welding except underwater. Little Bondo fiberglass repair, things like that. Never really got to do much of it because my unit transitioned from vertical construction to horizontal construction. So that's why I switched over to heavy equipment, driving excavation equipment.
Wow. We need to keep you in mind if we ever renovate. That's for sure. And how long were you in the military, and what branch were you in?
6 years, Army Reserve.
Army Reserve. Cool. And so take us back to when, not too long ago, you're young. What inspired you to join the military in the first place?
I was a young parent, and the recruiter got me. At that time, at 17, I had just graduated high school, and I wasn't able to get a full-time job yet. But I knew I had a child coming, and I had to do something. Plus, I was terrified of what my mother was going to say when she found out. So I joined up, and I waited till I got to basic training to send her a letter, tell her, hey, you're going to be a grandmother.
And look where I am.
Yeah. Kind of balance it out a little bit.
Wow. Where did you go to basic training?
Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Wow. And where are you from?
I am from East Palo Alto.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful area. Bay Area is nice.
Yeah.
A little chilly, but same here. But
Yeah.
very nice. So you work at VTC, and tell us about what you do here and how you serve our veterans.
I am a maintenance technician. So, we keep the building standing, I guess I can say.
And the other buildings too, right?
Yes.
So the houses on
All the
Hayes where our
houses on
veterans
Hayes.
live. Okay. Very important job. What is your favorite thing about your job?
I've always loved working with my hands. So just fixing things, I love doing maintenance, understanding how things work, solving problems that other people can't solve, things like that. And I've always liked helping people. So this job kind of saved me from where I was, because I was also homeless at one point, drug addict. And so when this job came along, I'm like, you know what? I could do some real good over there. Because the job I came from, I worked at an assisted living community, and I was the maintenance director over there. And seeing things, hearing things about the organization that just didn't sit well with me, it kind of felt more like I was robbing the elderly opposed to actually helping them. So that's why I had to get out of there. And then this place came along, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to rock that. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a good fit for you. So what is a typical day like in your department at VTC?
A typical day. A lot of toilets.
We need you, Ryan.
A lot of toilets. Work orders left and right. Being as we have the amount of units that we have, the amount of people that we have, and the units are a lot older. So we get a lot of, it's just work orders.
Yeah.
All day.
What's your biggest challenge, you think, in your department?
Biggest challenge?
Besides the toilets.
I was going to say toilets. I'm working on a toilet now, but I stopped to.
Join us on the podcast. Yes. That's awesome.
But biggest challenge
that your team faces, you would say.
That my team faces. We don't really have too many. I think we got a solid crew back there.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's refreshing. I love that.
I think we're actually making a lot of headway down there.
That's amazing.
So,
and what's it like to serve veterans? I mean, you're a veteran. What's it like to, work in your department and be in such close proximity to our veterans and serving their needs?
It feels right. I feel like I found my people. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot in common with a lot of the people down there. Never been to prison, so they kind of got that on me, some of them. But it feels right. Like I was meant to be here. I'm at a point in my life where what I do for a living does matter to me. I don't want to just line the pockets of some rich guy. So it means a lot to me being here.
Tell us more about that. Because I know, like we said earlier, everybody has a story. I have a story. Maddie has a story. And, I think it's just so important that we get the word out about the lives and how we're impacting lives on a daily basis. So it's like what your job is not small. It's big. It's a very important piece to the puzzle. So tell us more about how this has impacted you working here.
Well, first I'm going to start by saying, prior to me moving out to Monterey County, I was a drug addict and I was homeless. And eventually I got to a point where my kids meant more to me than that lifestyle. So I'll have 4 years clean in October.
Congratulations.
So
amazing.
So coming here, I felt that if I can do it, other people can too. And I know it's like, for me, I didn't have anyone to help me. I had to just.
How did you do it? How did you get clean?
When things hit the fan, it was either sink or swim. And like I said, my children meant more to me than that lifestyle. So I put myself in a program. And when I was done there, I made my way back here because this is where my son was. And yeah, luckily I got my first maintenance job, because I'd always done maintenance, but it doesn't matter if it's not on your resume. But I got my first job at the Monterey Peninsula Country Club in Pebble Beach. So I figure, I've been clean for 2 months and they're giving me a job making almost $30 in Pebble Beach. Like, I can't mess this up. So I did that for a little while. And then once that kind of ran its course, I moved on to the assisted living place where I became the maintenance director. And just 2 years as an entry-level maintenance tech, I made director. Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's a big step. So in such a short period of time. Yeah. So once I got there, I'm like, you know what? This kind of isn't for me. I don't want to I don't want to be a manager. I just want to work. I just want to stay busy and just. So when I saw this, I'm like, that would be great for me. Because not only do I bring the skills and abilities that I have, it's also a success story that I could tell my story to other people and possibly motivate people who were in the same situation that I was once in. So that's huge.
And you work with a lot of our veterans, right? I know there's Randy over there in the operations department. How has that been?
Well, that's been cool. Randy's been another success story. So it's been really good working with Randy.
We're still trying to get him on, so let him know.
I'm pushing for that also.
It'll be a good story. But your day typically in operations, it's I assume it varies a lot. I know you helped me one day get an unexpected visitor out of my office. We had a little wood mouse sneak in my door, and I had to call Ryan and say, "There's a mouse in my office." But there's a lot of different things that you handle on a daily basis. Would you?
It's not always mice. Sometimes it's skunks. Sometimes it's spiders. Sometimes it's unruly people on the property. So we get all kinds of calls, just anything. We say maintenance, but with that comes security, pest control. That's just kind of a general term for you guys handle all the stuff that
nobody else
wants to do.
Oh, that's how important you are.
So I'll take that. So
you've worked here for a little while now, and you're a veteran. So if you wanted to give a shout out or just make a comment about VTC out there for people that might be listening for the first time, what would you tell them about VTC?
I would say, well, for people who are in needing of help, if you're really serious, it'll work for you. Just like with anything, if your head's screwed on right and you really want to make that change, this is a great first step. Personally, I wish I would have known about it when I was in need. But thankfully, things turned out the way they did for me. But I wish I would have known about it.
Well, I think one thing we always bring up on this show is just wanting to get the word out that we help veterans as they are. There are many places and shelters and things where there's a requirement to be clean for this many days or whatever. And so, we take you as you are. And so, I just want to let people know if there's a veteran in need that's listening, please reach out. Please call us and we will hook you up with a case manager here and get you on your way to first starting with a safe place to live and food to eat and shelter. That's the main thing. So our phone number is 831-883-8387. If you have any questions about our programs, if you know someone in need and just need more information or you want to find out what we do, our email address is info@vtcmonterey.org. Our website is vtcofcalifornia.org. I know you're aware of some of the programs that go on here at VTC, and we talked to Regina about the art therapy program. What are some that come to mind when you think about some things, the services that we offer here?
Things that come to mind about services. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Well, one of the biggest ones, we have our pantry, right? We talked about that earlier. That's a big one. And we feed the veterans that live on Hayes. We feed the veterans that live in Lightfighter Village. And we also feed veterans in need that are not in any of our programs. So that's a pretty powerful thing. We've doubled in size. So, I do want to let people know that that is a need that we continue to have is we want to make sure that we don't have any veteran on the street that is suffering from food insecurity or a lack thereof. So we're very proud of our food pantry. We've expanded it recently and gotten a few extra freezers so that we can freeze perishable things. But it's a huge piece of what we do. Yeah.
Are there any projects that the operations department is currently working on down on Hayes or around the building?
Well, we have 2 units 216 to 18, that are currently being remodeled.
Wow.
And that includes new ADA-friendly restrooms. I mean, the walls were gutted out, toilet sinks, tubs, new flooring, all new equipment.
That's going to make such a difference for sure.
Full remodel.
Uh-huh.
Do we already have residents living in there? Are they waiting?
No.
Okay.
We vacated everyone out of there because they completely, and they upgraded the windows to the double pane windows, the sliding glass door. It was completely ripped out.
So whoever gets to move into there, they're really lucky ducks.
Living nicely in there.
And how many bedrooms and how many beds can fit in there?
This one is a 4-bedroom, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure because they did change a few things. Mm-hmm. But anywhere between 6 and 8 people to a unit.
And are we working with any contractors or anything, or is this a full in-house job?
Oh no, this is a contractor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're kind of providing assistance.
Yes. There we kind of fill in some spots where they're whatever things that they're not providing, we're providing it. So
Well, before we end this portion of this broadcast, I really do want to thank you for your service, Ryan. And thank you for sharing your struggles with us, because that's what makes the difference, is when people can relate to someone like you. So thank you for being raw and open with us on this broadcast. It really means a lot to everyone out there listening, and to any veteran that's listening that might be in need, because basically the message is that there is hope. There is hope. And if anyone needs assistance in any way, please feel free to reach out to the Veterans Transition Center of California. We're located here in Marina at Martinez Hall. This is the old Fort Ord building, the Army base, that we were able to get and access to in order to mitigate homelessness. So that was our main goal. And so we were able to gain this property. Regina, thank you so much for coming and sharing about your art therapy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and we'd love to have you back sometime.
I would love it.
All right. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us today.
thank you.
Before I introduce our next guest, I would like to make an announcement, because the Veterans Transition Center of California here in Marina is holding a Salute to Veterans Jamboree, which we had last year around Veterans Day. This one is actually on Veterans Day, November 11th from 11 to 4, and it's sponsored by the city of Marina. And we will also have a stand down for veterans that want to come by and take advantage of free services and resources specifically for veterans. And this is a family-friendly event. We're having bounce houses and beverage huts and food trucks, and we're going to have a car show, probably about 10 to 12 vintage cars. It's going to be an amazing day in celebration and honoring our veterans. So please come to that. Come on by 11 to 4 on Veterans Day, 11/11/25. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Kenneth to the program. Hi, Kenneth.
Hi,
Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
you're welcome.
We're glad to have you here. So Kenneth actually works in our pantry and does amazing work there with Amos, making sure that all of our veterans get taken care of on a daily basis when they come for food and resources. So thank you for all that you do. Tell us about your military background, Kenneth.
Well, I was in the service back in 1978, and I was a heavy equipment operator and dealt with cranes a lot, and I was in a combat engineer unit.
So in combat.
Yeah,
Wow. In combat.
no,
Oh, okay.
I was lucky. I didn't have to.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more detail what exactly you did and how you worked on these heavy equipment.
Well, what we did is we built bridges and cleared up like highway, airport runways and stuff, getting them ready. What my job was, I operated cranes, so I did all the heavy lifting.
Wow.
And sometimes we used other equipment like bulldozers and stuff like that to level the lanes and stuff like that. And
Bridges, airports, landing strips, things like that.
yes,
Very cool. So what branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Army,
Okay. And where were you stationed?
Fort Lewis, Washington.
Oh, wow. And were you there the whole time when you were
Yes.
in? Okay. And what was that like?
It was wet.
A lot of rain?
A lot of rain.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
But it was a wonderful place to be stationed.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Canada for winter training, and so that was really fun.
Did you get to go to Niagara Falls?
No,
Darn. That would have been a good one.
no. We just learned how to cross-country ski.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, until you fall in one of those tree holes.
Oh, no. Yeah, there's a lot of snow in Canada. It's probably a good place to
Yeah.
train for that. Wow.
You get stuck and you have to wait for someone to pull you out.
Yeah, right.
Did that happen to you?
Quite a few times.
So what prompted you to join the military in the first place?
It was, I just had to get away from home, pretty much. I had a hard home life, so just getting away.
And how old were you when you joined the military?
I was 18.
Wow.
I did it right after I didn't have the parents' authorization.
Right. You were able to just sign for yourself.
Yep.
And you said, okay, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Did you choose the Army or you just happened to
Yes, I
chose the Army?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. So, and how many years were you in?
I did 4 active and 2 reserve,
Okay.
so 6 altogether.
Wow. Can you take us to, so we always like to get stories from all of our veterans because they're all so different, but yet they're all personal. And that's what we want to convey to our audience is just, you know, whether you were in combat or not, there are things that happened during that time that stuck with you. Can you tell us about either a person or a particular thing that happened to you while you were in the service that really was one of those memorable moments for you?
Well, it was personal, but it was scary. I was out. We were doing some bivouac, and I was on guard duty. And we were up for I don't know how many days. And I was on my guard duty, and I decided to put my post right in the middle of the road so no one could come and go. And I fell asleep and had a tank drive over me.
Oh my gosh,
And it
Kenneth.
missed me on both sides.
Oh my gosh.
And I woke up the next morning and I had these tank tracks on both sides of me. So
You
I had-
ended up like right in the center
Yes.
between. Oh my gosh.
So that's remember. That's my phone.
And those sounds that you just heard were not jungle sounds. That was actually dolphins, and that was our guest's cell phone that was still on during our show, which is totally fine. Now it's off. But anyway, so thanks for sharing that, Kenneth.
You're welcome.
So we were talking about how a tank ran over you. I mean, you must have had, how did you feel about that the next morning when you saw those tracks? When you woke up?
I was shocked, and I was relieved that it didn't pivot or anything at the time because there was a turn just a little bit after they went by. So
Wow. You must have had some stuff left to do on this earth, is all I can think
Yes.
of. Yeah. Wow. That's
I wonder if they knew. That they probably had no
they
idea.
didn't.
Was it, so it was in the
It
middle of
was
the
at night, yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Lucky. Wow.
And I didn't even hear it go by. And you know how loud those
yeah,
are.
you were tired.
Yes, I was beat.
Wow. So how did you hear about the Veterans Transition Center?
My wife heard about it. I was in the hospital, and she was looking, and she found it and came over and talked to Dan at the time, and told him my situation, that I was in the hospital and didn't have a place to go after I got out, and he was able to get me over here and in the housing, and from then on I thanked the VA for that. Then I just started helping out here in that pantry, just keep it, do something, and end up being here for about 3 years now.
Oh, wow. That's great. Tell us about your what happened with you with your medical situation.
Well, it was when we had a lot of rain, and I was out having to take care of some horses and stuff like that. And where I was living, the floors were wooden, and I was wet, and we didn't have power or anything. And so I ended up getting hyperthermia.
Oh my
And
gosh. Where was this at? Where did this
I
happen?
was in Pebble Beach
Oh, wow.
taking care of some animals there. And I took care of her husband. And I promised that I'd look after her and the animals. And it just too cold and stuff. And I fell. And the wife found out that I fell, and she came, and I was still on the floor, and she took me to the hospital and ended up there for about a month.
Wow. In Palo Alto?
No, I
Oh,
was
here.
here in the community hospital.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Yes, it was.
So when you came on here at VTC, so you joined the program? You joined,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And then how long were you in the program before you graduated?
I was here for a year,
Okay.
but I was able to get an apartment and move out within, I think it was under 6 months,
Oh,
And
wow.
how long has it been since then?
about 3 years.
Wow, that's awesome. And your apartment, it's not wet. It's,
No, it's not.
Safe
Though
floors.
we do have a swim pool.
Oh, you better be careful. No running at the pool.
well, that's a great story. I'm so glad that worked out. I'm sorry that you
Yes.
had those living conditions before, but it sounds like it happened for a reason. Now you're better off.
Yes, I am.
Also, we have here another guest. Can you introduce this guy?
Well, this is Louis. His name was Versace. And I could not stand having him as a purse. So I changed his name to Louis. He is a service dog. He's with me 24/7. And he helps me out with when I have seizures and stuff. He lets me know that I'm not doing good and gets in my face and stuff. And
Where
just
did you
been-
find Louis?
He was in the shelter.
Uh-huh.
And when I first got him, he was so skittish. He was really nervous. And then he warmed up with me, and it's just been me and him partners.
And for those listening at home, you'll have to check out our social media. We'll have a photo of Kenneth and Louis at the podcast. Louis is here sitting on Kenneth's lap, being very supportive.
Reading with the paper.
He's helping read the paper.
Well, we want to hear a little bit more about your experience at VTC and what were some impactful moments or skills or lessons that you learned that you took away. I mean, we already talked about the end goal, which, at VTC, we want to help people find their own home and get into a situation where they can have a job and be able to pay their rent and live on their own. And so tell us, some of the things that you learned or that you took away from VTC.
Well, I learned that they were really helpful. I was really bitter with the military for a long time because when I got out of service, they weren't there to help me. And here at the VTC, they've been open arms. They kept me, busy doing things. And I decided to come to the pantry and just give a little help out. And I enjoyed it because there were more people, veterans, that were in my situation that understood each other, and we were able to communicate. And now it's just like a big old family that you come down here, we joke around. It's just like you're in the service, but you're not. And the guys, they're helpful. They don't say, well, I don't know how to say it without saying some stuff. But they're not really bitter at, the service like I was.
Mm-hmm.
and they're very helpful. They're willing to help you if you're having a problem. And it's really made my life better because it gets me out of the house instead of sitting around being troubled or anything like that, or I'm able to communicate with people. Or before I was lonely by myself, Now I got hundreds of friends now that, we enjoy messing with every day.
And, I love to hear that because basically, and you're not just getting something from them. I mean, you're depositing them into their lives as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just by the greeting or just by, seeing them every day come and get their food from the food pantry. What is a typical day? Let's talk about the food pantry. So what is a typical day like? Let's talk about Monday through Friday first.
Excuse me. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 12, except on Fridays, we're open 9 to 3. On Mondays and Thursdays, we have Trader Joe's that we pick up, and we have that out on the porch. Then after they do the Trader Joe's, then we'll start the pantry. And then we have them come in, and they're able to go through the pantry and get what they need. We don't look at what they get or anything like that. That's free agency where they're able to pick up what they need. And we pick up food every day, 7 days a week. We go to like Trader Joe's, Lucky's. We go to different stores to pick up food to have it for them.
And Marina Grocery Outlet too, right?
We like
Marina,
to give a
shout out to
Marina Grocery Outlet's been really great with us, and we enjoy the people coming in. We tell them, this is for you guys. It's not for anyone but the vets.
Mm-hmm.
And we emphasize that because we want them to feel like they have family here.
Mm-hmm.
And what I look at is when they come, I'll joke around with them. Because I look at it is when I joke around, what am I doing? I'm making them smile. And that's making them forget all their troubles for that 10 minutes or that day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we do is we want to make them feel like when they come to the pantry that they got friends. Plus they have the necessary food to keep them where they're not hungry. And that's what we look at is making them feel like they are somebody.
And I can contest that Kenneth is very funny. He makes me laugh too.
That's true. And, that reminds me, we've talked about it on the show before, but that's one thing that we pride ourselves on is that we take veterans as they are. And if they come through our doors, some programs and shelters and things require them to be clean or sober or this or that. And we take the veterans as they are. We meet them where they're at. The case manager sits down with this individual and works out a particular plan that's specific to their needs and their growth and to their future success. And so it's the same thing with the pantry. They're a human being, And if anyone out there owns a store of any kind or a grocery store or a business, a produce business, and you would like to make some donations to our food pantry, we would be greatly appreciative of that because, we've grown in size. We've doubled in size since January because of the opening of Light Fighter Village. And so we have the capacity to serve approximately what is it, 240 now, 240
Yes.
vets. And so we currently feed, close to 200 a day in our pantry. And so we're always open to pantry donations, or if you'd like to give a monetary donation and specify it for the pantry, that allows them to go out and purchase the food that we're not able to receive for free. So I'd like to say that. If there's a veteran out there that might have had a similar situation to yours, if there's a veteran listening to this program, what would you say to them about VTC?
I would tell them, they are welcome to come. Like I said, it's for every vet. It's for anyone that needs help. It's for the homeless vets. It's for military vets, active. It's for the family of the vets.
Mm-hmm.
It's for anybody that wants a little help or just wants to talk to someone.
Mm-hmm.
We're there to listen. And, the best help you can get is from another vet. So...
And Kenneth, could you, maybe for anybody out there who wants to help, could you go into details on what we could use in the pantry?
We could use anything. Canned goods is a real good thing, like cereal, soups, stuff that you would want daily.
What about dairy?
Dairy, yes. Dairy we'd be glad to have because we try to have the 4 essentials: dairy, milk, butter, cheese, meats. Meat, we'd like to have that. And the bread is another thing.
Is there anything we have too much of?
No. No.
We could always use more.
I'm glad we clarified that
Yeah.
because it's true. I mean, we're expanding it. We're opening up we're taking some office spaces and trying to use that for storage as well. So hopefully we'll be able to actually do a renovation of the pantry to actually extend and break down some of those walls, which, if there's someone out there that would like to donate to that process to expanding our pantry, we'd love to hear from you. If you're a veteran and you need help, or if you know a veteran that needs help, or a family of a veteran, we're here for you. Let me just give you our phone number. It's 831-883-8387. If you want to send us an email, and if you have any questions about VTC or how to donate or how to help us here, our email is info@vtcmonterey.org. Please go to our website and check out what's coming up. We do have the Veterans Day event happening here on November 11th from 11 to 4. Salute to Veterans Jamboree. And we will also have a stand down at that event that will have free resources and information specifically for veterans and their families and their pets, by the way. So please keep us in mind on that day. I would really appreciate that. What else can you tell us about the pantry that maybe we didn't cover?
We are open with Trader Joe's on the holidays. If it's a Monday or Thursday, we are open. So, because we do pick up food from the stores, from Trader Joe's, 5 days a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and that, the pantry might be closed, but Trader Joe's is open Mondays and Thursdays, always.
And that's a lot of holidays. Federal holidays land on a Monday. So Labor Day, Veterans Day is Tuesday this year. So it's not a Trader Joe's Day. But Mondays and Thursdays, if a holiday lands on one of those days, we're still open supplying Trader Joe's.
Yes.
That's great. And Kenneth, you work 6 days a week with the pantry, but most of that time is volunteer time. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
What? I didn't
Yes.
even know that.
Yes.
Kenneth.
So Kenneth volunteers a lot of his time to helping us here at VTC. He's a staff member, but a lot of the time is volunteered, and we really appreciate that, Kenneth.
We volunteer about 6 hours a day of our
And
time.
how many hours a day are you here?
We're here sometimes 6 to 8 hours.
Wow.
I'm here from 7 to sometimes 3, 4, 5.
And tell us
In the
again
afternoon.
why you do that.
Because it makes me feel good. That's what it really does. It makes me feel good just being out.
And your wife helps
doing
out too, right?
Yes, she does.
You're both just giving back to the community. That's amazing. What is it like to work with Amos? We'd like to have Amos, who is our pantry manager, on someday. So we'll keep bugging him about that. What is it like working with him out there in the
Do
pantry?
you really want to know?
Yes, we do.
Give us
He's
the
a great
secrets.
guy. We call it a teamwork, a team job. Everything we do, it's both of us. It's all the people that work in the pantry and help us. It's not just me, or it's not just him. It's us, because he's the best guy to work with. You know, we have our own sections, and we do our own sections. And you know, if you got a problem, he works with you. You know, he's not one of these bosses that, you know, is really strict. And it is all us, not me at all.
It's a team.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a part of that. That's a part of that family that we were talking about. There's so much camaraderie here, not just with the staff, but especially the staff that have been veterans or that have gone through our program. There's such a bonding element to that, and I think it's a powerful thing. And I'm so glad you shared about that. So, how long do you think you might be here?
Until they
Helping us
get
out.
rid of me.
Oh,
No, I'll be here for quite a while.
yeah.
I don't have any plans of leaving.
Well, good. We would miss you. You and Louie.
That's right. That's right. You know what we forgot to talk about? We forgot to talk about people like Louie. We give away dog food, cat food. I mean, anything that their pet needs, we provide here at the pantry. They can pick up a bag of dog food. Do you have canned food too? Do you get that donated?
No,
Not yet?
just-
Okay.
We're really trying to get some connections with dog food. We have a hard time getting,
So typically no dog food is donated.
very seldom, yes.
We did have recently St. Vincent stop by and donated quite a few bags of dog food. And so we
Yes.
held a little photo shoot out there, which you can find on our social media too. Check out all of our residents. Very adorable dogs. But yeah, dog food, if anybody wants to donate some dog food, that would be great. Or if you have a connection with some big retail supplier, even better.
Yeah, for sure. If you have any connections with local pet stores, we'd love to hear from you. We're always in need of dog food, cat litter. Most of our pets here at VTC are dogs, so probably more heavy on the dog food. But we would appreciate any donations that you would like to give. And again, this is the Veterans Transition Center of California, and this is Veterans Voices with VTC, real stories of strength, survival, and hope. And Kenneth, thank you so much for being on our show today.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Louie, also for
Thank
coming
you,
along.
Louie.
He's just looking at me.
He's so cute. He's one of those dogs that looks like he's smiling. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us today at the Veterans Transition Center of California.